At any given time within a body of water, bass can be holding in several locations: shallow, deep, undercover, buried in heavy vegetation, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're all active. Hello everyone, and welcome back. Have you ever hit the water with grand expectations only to discover that none of your perceived notions are working? Well, it's happened to me more times than I want to admit, and one just recently while attempting to shoot a video. It was a sunny, calm dog day of summer, and my original intent was to skip pontoons and docks. After a couple of hours of skipping, my effort proved to be less than stellar, so I raised the power poles and tried running a frog in the pads.
I should be able to catch a fish or two out of this stuff. This is beautiful.
2 hours later,
how can you not get bit?
Next, I moved out to the deeper weed edge with a drop-shotted Senko and a jig, and still couldn't make something happen. However, I was picking up schools of bait fish on my active target and thought, there's gotta be bass hanging off the break too. Now bear with me here and don't click off. There's a valuable lesson to be learned. At this point, I decided to drop my AquaView camera down and study the weed edge more thoroughly, and instantly picked up the bluegill schools. Then, sure enough, found that the bass were indeed hanging on the edge as well. So in an effort to salvage the day's shoot, I tied on a 5XD crankbait and began to crank in desperation.
Go. There we go. Took a crankbait to trigger them. Took a little crankbait to trigger them. Oh, there's one right behind him too. That's awesome.
I had already fished this weed line with a jig, but it took the erratic action of a crankbait to get one to strike. And the fact that there was a follower told me there was more to be had.
There he is. Oh, there he is. Oh, one. Look at there's at least 15 bass behind him. There was one heck of a school right where they were supposed to be. They weren't very big though, but there was a whole school of them.
The point is, I tried slower, more subtle presentations, but it took a crankbait to excite them.
These summer fish are lethargic, and they need a little extra action to spark them and trigger them into striking. And a crankbait will do that, especially run as fast and erratic as I'm doing it. That's fish. Ooh, that's a decent fish. Yeah. Desperation cranking. Desperation. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on up here. Yeah. Yep. This is what I've done in tournaments for years, is when things get tough and the day's not going as planned and you need another fish. I call it desperation cranking. Just get on that break. I take a couple different crankbaits, one that'll run over the top of the grass, let's say at 5 feet, and then another one that's running at 10 foot, just off the weed bed, and cover water quickly, and that will help you catch more fish. I was intentionally cranking that 5XD with 20-pound Seaguar Tatsu fluorocarbon to keep it from running too deep and digging in the outer weeds. The rod I was using was a 7-foot medium action fiberglass cranking rod. I prefer to crank in this situation with a glass rod because it's more limber. This typically translates into better hookups. Moreover,
The increased flexibility cushions a fighting, jumping fish better than graphite. Bass are edge-oriented creatures by nature and will travel along an edge. More importantly, they will hold on an irregular feature along that edge. In this case, it was a few subtle points that jutted out from the weed line that were the key spot on the spots. But what a difference it was to discover the right pattern and salvage the day. And I produced a video, which I hope you learned from. Next time you're in despair on the water, try desperation cranking along the outside break line. It could salvage your day. Thanks for watching.